Hello and welcome to my video, just a short video on attachment theory. This will be in two parts, and in this particular video I'm looking at the attachment theory and how it came about. In the second video I'll be looking actually at the attachment diagnosis. So, attachment theory was theorised by John Bowlby in the 1960s, and the work began in the 1950s when originally John Bowlby was asked by the WHO to research and write a paper on the effect of separation on children when they were separated from their parents. And Bowlby and Robinson continued this work when he looked at children who had been hospitalised and then on children who had been evacuated during World War II and separated from both family and parents. John Bowlby wrote his trio of books, his trilogy, that remain a classic for any of the attachment theorists. Attachment was written in 1969, and in 1972 he wrote Separation, and then in 1980 he finalised the trilogy by his volume on loss, and he also updated his first book on attachment in the same year, 1980. So we call it attachment theory because we describe the child's tie to their primary caregiver as their attachment, and the equivalent for the caregiver is the affectional bond. Bowlby's work was continued, and it was in 1978 that Ainsworth and others continued his work, and they developed the strange situation experiment to diagnose attachment styles in children aged between 12 and 18 months. Now, the strange situation, to just briefly describe the experiment, is when a mother and child go into a playroom, another adult enters, and the mother leaves the child. And it's actually how the child reacts at reunion when the mother re-enters the room that actually tells the attachment therapist how the child is attached to their mother. John Bowlby's work continues today, and the people that are now considering his attachment theory are called neo-attachment therapists. So, how does a healthy attachment style develop? So here we have a cycle where baby has a need, and obviously we're talking pre-verbal, so baby cries to let their primary caregiver know that they have need, and the caregiver regularly and in attunement meets that child's need. Therefore, a trust develops when this cycle happens time and time again. Over a period of time, the trust develops, and that is the beginning of a healthy attachment. In the second year, what we start to see is then that the child begins to have wants, and I'm sure everybody who's had toddlers or have even seen toddlers recognise that children in their second year can be very demanding, and what they do is that they begin to demand wants, and they will also start to test the limits, defy limits indeed. However, the caregiver always responds in an appropriate way and will allow the child to learn in an appropriate way regarding their wants and demands. For some children, their parents or primary caregivers are not able to meet these original needs when we start looking at their early years. So, like all babies, an urge, a need rises in them. They will cry, and their needs are not met either on a regular basis or in attunement. So what do I mean by attunement? Babies cry, and often mothers can actually recognise what each cry means. Babies will cry differently if they have a need to be fed, if they have a need for their nappy to be changed, or indeed if just because they're lonely and they want a cuddle. We are designed to respond. We are biologically predetermined to react to a baby crying. It is part of our biological makeup. So, if for whatever reason a mother or the primary caregiver does not respond on a regular basis in an attuned way, then what can happen is that trust does not develop, and following that, a rage can develop because their needs have not been met. One thing that I think is worthwhile saying at this particular point is that we all have attachment styles, we may have attachment traits or behaviours, and for some people they are disordered. Attachment styles can change over time, and we can also have different attachment styles with different people in different environments. When the attachment with the primary caregiver has been skewed or distorted at an early age, the attachment style can become fixed. However, a long-term psychotherapeutic intervention can help to remedy the attachment disorder. Thank you for listening, and in the next video I will talk about the particular attachment diagnosis. Thank you.